All right, so we're welcome to the second section, right? So in the previous section, we got cut off with our time limit, right? So I'll try as much as possible to first do a recap of what we were doing, or what we are doing rather, then we'll continue from where we stopped, right? I think this was the number we were working with before the session ended. All right, so I'm currently inside my VS Code. Can we see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, so in the last session, right, we are trying to extract our data from the endpoint, right? So we're getting these real data from that endpoint. Then I said all this data is they are coming as nested dictionaries and nested lists. So we need to find a way to go inside every of these data to extract the data we want, because you'll all agree with me, once you're watching weather forecast, they don't display all this information, right? They only display the popular ones. Maybe the weather, the clouds, the visibility, the pressure, the which other one, they don't even display sea level, right? They display humidity, I think. Yeah, so it's not every of these data that we want, so we are going to go into this particular data and extract the ones we want, right? Which explains what I was trying to say in the last session, that we could return data, but this our function here is going to be messy, right? Because we are going to start extracting those data inside this place, of which that is not what I want. If anything at all will get messy, I would rather this first function get messy, this one here. So it means instead of returning data here, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this particular area to extract all the contents I need, right? So because every of this data is basically coming like a key and value. So it means to extract that particular data, I have to use a key and value also, which is a dictionary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable dictionary that will be equals to this. So I want to extract every of those things inside or into this particular dictionary. So now here's what we are going to be doing. Um, you know what? Let me undo this. Let me undo this. Then let me undo this. The reason why I want to undo this is because I want us to be having like a reference of what we want to extract underneath here. So I'm going to run this again because I don't have everything on fed, right? Yeah, so this is the reference I want. So let me now go back to what I wanted to do, right? So remember I said I want to extract everything into this dictionary. Okay, so now not everything, some. So the first thing I want to extract is the city name, right? So it means we want the city name. So that's the first one. Sorry, I'm just trying to make everything neater. Then we want temperature also. They are even using temp. Not everybody, we in tech, we understand temp means temperature, but not everybody would understand temp means temperature, right? So it means we want to extract this temp and store it inside our own key that we are going to call temperature, right? So it means we want temperature also. Then we want what else do we want? Let me see. Yeah, we want description. Usually during weather forecast, there's description also. So we want description. Then we want, let me see. I'm just picking out the popular ones. Yeah, humidity. Humidity too is quite popular. So we want to extract humidity also. Then let me do one last one. Sea level. Nobody ever really pays attention to sea level. Yeah, speed, wind speed, right? So we want wind speed. All right, so these are all the ones that we want to extract. You can extract more than that. You can even extract time zone. You can extract visibility. You can extract ground level. You can extract pressure. The option is left to you, right? You can extract latitude and longitude, but these are the ones we want to extract. Okay, so that being said, inside our key, what we are going to be creating inside our key now is the key that we want going forward. For instance, their own city name, they are using name for it. We will want to store this Lagos inside city name, right? So we are going to create a key for that. I'm going to call it city. So now how do we get the city from this place? That is where the problem starts. To enter this entire dictionary, what is that? Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this entire dictionary, to enter this dictionary, you need to first of all enter this variable data. So I'm going to type that here, data. So how do we? So let me check how many of us are online right now, Seth. Okay, that's about 8 of us. So we are going to be doing this together. So if you have the answer, you can just unmute. So we'll do it together. So how do we select Lagos from this place? Remember, this is one giant dictionary, right? So how do we enter Lagos here? Remember, it's a dictionary. How do you pick out Lagos from this dictionary? This is the inner dictionary, then this one is the inner list. We are not entering that. This is another dictionary. We are not entering that. This is another dictionary. We are not entering that. This is another one. No. This here is another one that ends here. So it means the Lagos we want is not nested inside any dictionary, right? So the Lagos we want is existing inside a key of name, right? So it means to get to Lagos, we have to go inside a key of name. Can we see how I'm extracting this content, right? So it means first, you enter this dictionary of data, then you enter a key of name, which is what is storing the city, right? So this would extract the city for us. We are done with one. We can put comma and move to the other one. So the other one now is temperature, right? So we've already seen that from this giant dictionary, they are storing their own temperature inside a keyword of temp. We don't want temp, we want to create it in full. So I'm creating a key of temperature, right? So now how do we fetch the temperature? The temperature, first and foremost, it's inside a giant dictionary of data here. So you go inside that data. Once you're inside that data, is temperature inside this first dictionary? No. Is it inside this giant list? No. Is it inside this nested dictionary? You can see temperature falls into this giant dictionary, but that giant dictionary is inside a key of main. So you have to go inside main first and foremost. So this particular thing I just typed, data variable then key of main, will get us inside this place. Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this data main will get us inside this part I highlighted. So now that we are here, we need to still enter another dictionary because there's a nested dictionary here. The first layer we entered is the first key here. You can see. So we need to enter temp. Yeah, we need to enter temp to get 29.61. So it means we are entering another dictionary. That dictionary is nested inside the parent one. So how do you do that? You introduce another square bracket, then you pass in temp, right? So temp will now spill out 29.61. We've covered that part for temperature, right? So you add a comma again. So the next one in what we want is description, right? In this giant dictionary, oh, they even spelled it out in full, so I could use that instead. So I'm going to create a key for it also and call it description. This one might be a bit complicated. All right, so how do we enter the description area? Remember, always take it layer by layer. The dictionary we want to enter is still inside the same data variable, right? But then now we are inside this data. So where is description? Is it inside here? Nope. Is it inside this list? Yeah, it is inside the list. So it means we need to enter first and foremost, before we even enter that list, we need to enter this dictionary of what? This key of weather first. So I'll introduce this key of weather. So now once we are now inside this weather, there's a nested list inside this place. Remember, whenever you want to get an item from a list, it is different from how you are going to get an item from a dictionary. To get an item from a list, you are going to be passing in digits inside. To get an item from a dictionary, you are going to be passing in a key. Weather is a key, that is why we passed in a key. This particular one here is a list. You are going to be passing in some digits to get into any of these items inside here. Are we together, please?
Yes, sir.
I want us to pay attention to this part. There is a list here, and there is an item inside that list. There is just one item inside that list, which is a dictionary. Please don't let us get confused. There's a big list, but that list only has a dictionary inside. Had it been after this first dictionary there's a comma, then another dictionary, then it means you have two dictionary. But inside here right now there is just one dictionary, and this is where that see where my cursor is. This is where that dictionary ends. Had it been there's another dictionary, you get a comma, then another dictionary. But then that dictionary, this inner dictionary that starts from here and ends here, has 1, 2, 3, and 4 items inside it. Please don't be confused, right? There's a list that has only one item, which is a dictionary. Then that dictionary has 1, 2, 3, and 4 items inside it. So we want to enter which of the items? 1, 2, the third item, which is the description. But before we even enter it, first and foremost, we have to enter that list first and foremost. But since I said that list only has one item, 1, which is the first position, remember in Python we start counting from 0, so it means square bracket of 0 will get us into this dictionary inside that list, right? We've entered the weather key first, which gets us here. Then to enter this position inside that dictionary, this entire dictionary inside that list is sitting on index position 0, Why? Because there's no comma after that dictionary. And even there's a comma, it means what comes after that comma is 1. If there's another comma, what comes after that comma is 2, and so on and so forth. But the dictionary we want is sitting on the 0th index position inside that dictionary, right? Which is what we want. So now this particular one would get us inside that dictionary now, right? So now how then do we get to description? Description has a key of description. So you pass in another square bracket, then you pass in the key of description. So first we enter the bigger dictionary, then we entered the key of weather. Why? Because the description we are looking for is inside this dictionary here. Then because that dictionary is equals to a list which has what we want sitting on index position 0, we pass in the index position here. So this will get us inside that dictionary. Then you pass in the key of what you want. If it was clouds you want, it means you are going to be passing in main. But because it is overcast clouds, which is the description of, that is what we want. That is why we are passing in the description key. Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this would get us that overcast clouds or sunny or raining or whatnot, right? So it means we've extracted the description here. We can put a comma, then do for the next one. So the next one we want is the wind speed. So the wind speed is here. They are using, oh, they have a key of wind. Wait, oh, I'm seeing a key of wind. Oh, I'm seeing a key of wind that is equals to its own dictionary, right? So what I'm going to do is we want to store that inside a key of wind speed. That's the key we want to use for our own. So that is going to be equals to, remember the dictionary we are working with, the giant one is the data. So now how do we enter it? So I'm going to start from scratch again. Wind speed is not inside here. It is not inside here. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because there are so many nested dictionaries in here, it can be confusing. The wind speed, is it in here? It's not in here also. Is it here? Yeah, it is here. You can see it is inside a key of wind, right? So you create that particular bracket, then you pass in the wind. You can see the key is wind, but the wind is now equals to its own nested dictionary again, right? So it means after jumping into wind, to get to speed, we need another bracket again. So bracket, then the key is what? Speed. So you pass that in there. So this would get us 2.58, which is the speed, right? Then you have your comma, then the last one. So the last one is the humidity, right? Let me see if they type that in full. Yeah, so they type that in full. So we can just go ahead and do humidity. Then it is still inside the same data. So how do we get to humidity? We are going to do it the same way we've been doing it. Humidity is not in here. Humidity is not inside this list. Humidity is inside this nested dictionary. But how do we get to that nested dictionary? There's a key of main. So you enter that main first, right? So now once you're inside that main, it means to get to 72, which is the value of this humidity, you need to enter this particular key of humidity. So another bracket, then key of humidity. So this will get you the 72. Yeah. So remember, we set out to just get five, which is the city name, the temperature, the description, the wind speed, and the humidity. Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we've extracted all what we want inside this dictionary of weather. So now I can now return the weather as the value of my function. So I can say return weather, right? The reason why I did not just return data here is I don't want all these things to be inside here. But then if you want it in your own case, you could just go ahead and return data here. Then all these ones we are doing here, you can then do them here, right? So now I've extracted everything inside a dictionary, then I am returning that dictionary. So it means inside is our run function. This result will now be storing a dictionary if there is no error, but if there's an error, it's going to be returning none. So now what I want to do here is we want to create a condition and say if result. What it means is, remember, I think we've done this in the bootcamp, right? If we do something like this, if result is not equals to none, is the same thing as saying if result. What if result means is if result exists, if result is not none. You created a variable Shegun that variable name that is equals to Shegun. Instead of saying if name equals Shegun, you can just say if name. It means if there's a reference, if name does not, or if name is not empty, that is what it means, right? And that is what we are doing here. If result is not empty, remember, if there was an error, it means result will be empty here. If there is no error, it means result is going to be equals to this dictionary. So what I'm doing here is if result is not empty, so what should that happen? We want to start displaying some of our results. So now let me just do this for now. So if result is not empty, we want to print this. Else, we want to print maybe some sort of a message that says or we can even have it in an F string and say something like sorry, we could not fetch the weather for what? You can just maybe pass the city here. So it means this else is when the result was none here. And this if result, it means if our result coming from this place is not empty, then it will enter this block. So now what do we want to print? What we want to print is we want to print a very simple message that says the city name. I'm thinking of how to do it. Okay, we want to print a result that says the weather forecast of Lagos, then colon, then we are going to display all the weather below it. That is how I want to, that is how we want to display it. What I mean is we want to first and foremost display a message that says, let's have it in an F string. We want to say the weather forecast of this is where we are going to have another problem again. Are we still together, please? Because this is going to
Yes, sir.
um can anybody just tell me why we can't just do the weather forecast of city and passing city here? Anybody, please, before we continue? Anybody? why can't we just say the weather forecast of city and just pass in the city name? Or why can't we just say the wind speed of city is, we now say maybe humidity or wind speed? Why can't we just do that? Why can't we just say the weather forecast of city and just pass it like this? Anybody?
Because city is a variable for
Okay. So our city now is inside what variable? Or the data as we need is inside which variable? Just look at this very well.
weather.
Are you sure it is inside weather? Look at it very well. Is it really inside weather?
I think inside the function get weather.
It is inside this function, right? And the function is returning the weather variable as you said now, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But now see where we call that function here. So even though it was weather that was coming from this place, but we've stored it inside a variable result. So the variable we need now is equals to result. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Even though our function was returning weather, but we went further in here to now store what was equals to weather to now be equals to result. So, and which is why we are checking if result. We didn't check if weather. We are checking if result because we are extracting all the content of this thing inside a variable result. So where we would have been doing weather, a key of weather, then extracting it with weather, we'll now be using result instead. Which is why I would not be doing it like this. Why? Because our city name is now stored inside a dictionary of results and a key of what? City. See our key here. So these are all the keys we are going to be using. These ones on the left hand side. Are we together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So anywhere we want to extract, even though it was weather we used it as a key, but it is we now that we decided to now store it inside a result. If you don't want to be confused, you could just say weather equals this, right? Then you are checking if weather. But we were the one that made everything or should I say I'm the one that made everything complicated by storing what was equal to weather and now storing it inside a variable of result, right? So in your own case, you can just say maybe variable weather equals to this, then you are checking if weather. So now here you are now saying weather, you know what? It's not too late. Let me just do it like that. So let me say weather equals to this. Then we are now checking if weather. Then we are now using weather to get the city. Yeah. So we are now going to be using these keys. Remember, there's a reason why we went that length to extract the content of each of all these ones inside our own key. Why? Because in here, we don't want to be going inside several layers when we are outputting the result. That's why we took the pain to do all that here. So whenever we use a key of temperature, we've already extracted it from here. So just by calling this, it's going to get this for us, right? So now we are saying the weather forecast of this city is now equals to everything we are going to be printing below this place. So the first one, which is an F string also, so I'm going to say temperature is, so our temperature is stored inside a weather variable. So our curly braces, then weather, then what is the key that we extracted the temperature into? We use the key of temperature. So I'm going to copy that key of temperature, then I'm going to paste that in there, right? Then remember we are using I think we passed in metric, so it means our unit of measurement here will be Celsius. So I'm going to just do capital letter C. That degree, I don't know how to find it on my keypad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on a browser and just do degree symbol. So if you can find it on your own keypad, it's good, but I can't. So I'm just going to copy that degree symbol, then I'm going to paste that. Yeah, you can see. So now temperature is this, then degrees Celsius, right? Then let me do for, excuse me, let me do for description. So I'm going to do for description. So description is still the same weather, but the key will change this time around. So what is the key of our description? The key is still description. So I'm going to copy this, then I'm going to paste that in here. Then description, there is no degree Celsius there, so I'm going to remove this. Okay, now moving on to the next one, which is wind speed. So we say wind speed is, so the same weather, but the key we use wind underscore speed. So I'm going to copy that, then use that as the key. Then the last one, which is the humidity. So while I'm pasting this, can anybody tell us what's the unit of speed, wind speed? Somebody can quickly just help us check. For metrical, what's the unit of wind speed? So this last one is humidity. Do we have any scientists here? Humidity is, what's the unit, what's the key of humidity? We use humidity. We are still waiting. What's the unit of the wind speed? Humidity. Nobody has gotten that for us yet. It's just to go to your browser and do wind speed unit metrics. So the primary metric, are we still together, please? Let it not be that we've
Yes, sir.
meter per second, right? You can see this one is straightforward. So I'll just copy this. So it means here we just put meter per second. How about for humidity? Um, humidity. Standard metric units include relative humidity. Oh, but this one is going to waste our time. This one it has started speaking plenty English. Well, once you do your research, whatever the unit you get, just put it behind. Also meter per second, Abby. All right. So, you can extract, thank you for that. So you can extract your result whichever way you want, right? If you want like 20, if you want like 15, you can extract. If you want to include those longitude and latitude, you can include it if you want. But just, take it step by step. So now let's run it to see if this even works. So, enter a city name. Let me do Kubwa. So let me see. So it says the weather forecast of Kubwa, temperature is this, description is this, wind speed is this, then humidity is this. Yeah, so that's basically how to use the weather API platform and extract real-time weather forecasts, right? And also how to put all those our nested dictionaries, nested lists, how to put it to test to see if we still remember them Now, because you are going to be, going several layers to pick, the data you need. Trust me, there are some API you use, right? Shey, we are only going 3 layers here. There are some API you use, you go like 5 layers to get the data you want, right? So it can be a bit complicated, right? But once you take it layer by layer, go into the first layer first. You can even do it this way, right? Instead of, before creating this what is it called, dictionary here, just for you to know if you are getting the right thing, you can first and foremost go inside this data first. Oh, now I'm inside that data. Go inside this weather. Oh, I'm inside that weather. Now go inside maybe zero. Oh, I'm inside here, or I'm getting an error. Okay, I cannot go inside this particular one. Then go inside this layer. So once you see that it's now giving you the result you want, then you can now transfer it to whichever dictionary you are extracting. But trust me, once you keep going layer by layer, you can never go wrong. But if you assume that, okay, what you're writing is what, is the correct thing, then where you are getting your result, or where you're, compiling your result, that is where you now start getting those errors. So that's that. For those persons that you still prefer the GUI thing, you can just convert it to Tkinter like we did in the last class, but there's no need for that, right? So that's that for the weather forecast system. And trust me, there are so many online platforms like that where they'll say enter the city name and they'll give you the weather forecast of that um, um, let me see. I'm trying to see if there are some websites where you just type the city name. This one, I did not type Abuja now. Why is this one giving me? Oh, he already knows that I'm in Abuja. Mm. Uh, enter city name to get weather online. Okay, this one has a link. What I want is just like a link to a website that is doing something like this. You can see, but this one is putting a picture there instead of, yeah, you can see this is similar to what we want. Oh, this person did it, and even if you look, are we together, please?
Yes, sir.
This person did it and pushed this to his GitHub. If you check the bottom left corner of my screen, you will see github.com Rao Shant. Oh, this is an India person. So I'm looking for the online. Oh, the person did not push it online. The person did not push it online. But this is the link. Whether I've been. Okay, the person deployed it. The person deployed it on Netlify. How many minutes is that? How many minutes? I thought that Bing sound is to tell us we have some minutes left. Oh, that is my Telegram. Alright, so this person pushed it to Netlify. Netlify is like a platform where you can deploy your project for free that people can use it. So let me go to his Netlify and see how this. Yeah, you can see. So maybe we type Kubwa. You can see. So this is the weather forecast of Cuba. So this is similar stuff to what we did. Just that we did not design our own. We are not front end developers, right? So we basically just created the back end of it. So remember, I'm going to touch on that before we end this session today also, as I said. Any question on this before we put a pen to this for today? Any question on this? No question. All right then. But are we together then? Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So as I said, besides creating this project that we just created today, we are going to talk about what comes next, right? Um, because I'm going to give you an advice here. Even though you can remain on the vanilla Python, remember vanilla is just like the purest form of a particular language. But whenever I'm in a position to advise, some or to advise, the upcoming developers, right? I try as much as possible to advise them in a way that they won't fall into the same loop I was in when I was learning, right? Which is, remaining too long on a particular I don't want to say on a particular language, on the vanilla part of a language, right? If we say vanilla Python, it means the purest form of Python. If we say vanilla JavaScript, the purest form of JavaScript. There is what we call frameworks, right? And there are what we call libraries, right? For instance, we don't just say we are looking for JavaScript developers. What we say is we are looking for React developers. We are looking for Node.js developers. We are looking for Vue.js developers. All those things I've listed, they are JavaScript, but they are not the purest form of JavaScript. They are frameworks, right? So now somebody that remained in the vanilla JavaScript, purest form of JavaScript for a year, then he goes on LinkedIn, he goes on Indeed looking for a job. He will not see vanilla JavaScript there, even though he's very good in JavaScript. What he's going to be seeing is, oh, this company, they are working with React, so they are looking for React developers. This company, they are working with Vue.js, so they are looking for Vue developers. This company, they are into Node.js, so they are looking for Node.js developers. So now you that you've spent a whole year on that purest, on that vanilla JavaScript, you'll not be stuck. I can't apply unless I've dabbled into what they want, the React, right? So you are now in that circle, you are now in that loop, right? Which is what I meant by, you not falling into that trap that I fell into when I was learning. Personally, to me, if you can deploy everything we've been doing so far, what I mean by deploy is, I don't mean garbage in, garbage out on what we've been doing. Okay, you understood what we've been doing, you created the same thing, you pushed to your GitHub profile. The task for the week that I've been giving you, you were able to do it, you deployed it to your GitHub profile. Then you are ready to move to the framework in Python, right? Remember, I said before we ended the entire thing, you should have decided on a path. Are you doing Django? That's for website. Do you want to create websites? Are you doing mobile? Are you doing data analysis? Are you doing simulation? There are so many parts in Python, right? And all those parts require you not to learn Python from scratch, but they have their own methods also, which is in tune with what I said in the bootcamp, where see Python, see what we've been doing so far as learning how to drive. If you find yourself in an area where you need to to drive a Ferrari, you are not learning how to drive from scratch again. You are just learning the controls, where the controls of a Ferrari is, right? So just because you learn how to drive a Ferrari means they tie your eye, then they drop you inside a Maybach. You need some getting used to see where the controls are inside a Maybach also, right? Which is usually shorter, right? The longer one is learning how to drive. The shorter one is okay, just learning where the controls of something is, right? So that is the next bit, right? Some persons have reached out to me already and said, "Oh, Mr. Shegun, I want Django. I want to learn how to build websites and all." Then okay, there are some materials. Some persons, I think I've sent to like 3 persons already. Then I think one person said they want data analysis and stuff like that. So that is where the next thing is. And trust me, it won't take you more than, say, for those persons that are doing Django and all, it won't take you more than, let's say, maybe a month to get familiar with Django. And trust me, nobody is expecting you to cram anything. Is expecting you that, okay, they wake you up today, you start reciting everything you learned in Django. No, it's just to understand the what's it called? The context of that particular framework, then to start working with it. Whatever it is you need is there online. Whatever it is you need, AI is, there for you already, right? It's just to, get familiar with something and start building something. Remember, whenever you start building something, there is a reason for that. The reason for that is either to maybe stand alone if you are good enough, or to apply for internships, or to apply for gigs, or to apply for jobs. It depends on you. I'm not expecting those in school to apply for jobs. I'm expecting those ones that are in school to start building something, right? Because building stuff takes a while. They have the time because they are in school, but those persons that are not in school, maybe they want like immediate result and stuff like that. It means for whatever it is they've learned, they can now start applying maybe for internship that they could do within a few months that will start paying them after and stuff like that, right? So I'm saying all that, or I'm saying all this to say, um, whenever you've decided on a path you want, right, just reach out to me in DM. Just click on my profile, then send me a personal message. If it's maybe if it requires you to come around, I could fix a date for you so you will come around. Then I'll send the materials for you. I'll give you a time, then you get the materials. Then while you're learning, anywhere you're stuck, right, you can always reach out to me and all. I'm saying all this, to say do not spend too much time in consuming API, mastering you can never see. I think we still remember when we went to python.org. See how many modules are inside our website. You can never cover everything, right? But the little you've covered, just make sure you are not in the same or the same spot. And if you'd agree with me, right, it's easier these days to build something. It's as easy as going to my chat GPT and say, I want to build, I have one perfect idea like that on how users can go on a platform and communicate with AI and type in some messages. Yeah, it is going to do that, but it's going to do that in a particular language. Whatever language is going to do that for me, if I don't understand what it did, it means I'm not going to be able to fix issues, or I'm not even going to be able to deploy that thing. So I'm going to be stuck eventually. You start looking for developers that could go into your code and fix it, right? But then if you understand what you are doing already, AI can help you on that front where, for you to even know what I'm, to understand where I'm coming from exactly. Um, if I go to my AI and say, build, are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
If I say, does anybody have an idea? An idea that it is only you that has the idea. Only you that have the idea. You don't want anybody to steal that idea of something you want to build. Anybody? I want to prove something, right? Because see, there is no idea you have right now in tech that nobody have no have how will I put this in English? There is no idea you have right now that is just unique to you. Somebody out there have worked on it. If you actually want to see it, once you're home or once you're by yourself, that idea that you feel it is only you that has it, just type that thing on Google. You will see a link to the GitHub or a link to a website that has that thing. But it doesn't mean you can't think of stuff, you can't have ideas. You can. Execution is the most important thing. There are so many people with ideas but they can't execute. But now you have the idea. What you need to learn, how to do now is to execute. So now let's say I want to build a chat bot in Python using Django, right? Even though this is a very wrong way of prompting ChatGPT to build something for you, right? But then let me just prompt it, right? So it says to build a chatbot in Python with Django, a clean approach is Django will be the backend, REST API is going to use an API, HTML and JavaScript for the front end, right? So you can see, so these are the codes, right? So I could just say go ahead and build so I can download. It is going to start building and analyzing. So if you are the type that you have maybe premium on ChatGPT or premium on cloud, it's going to build, then you're going to download. But trust me, if you are not familiar with what it builds, you can't edit, you can't modify, you can't structure whatever it is it builds to something you want, right? So whenever I tell you that, see, the hardest part is in learning what you're learning right now. Building something later on, that's the easy part. You can see it has built it and it has given me, where's the link again, Seth? Yeah, see the link here. It has built an entire working project for me, right? Building the project is not the hard thing. But if you don't understand, remember I said the what I just did now is the shaku shaku way of building something. Trust me, if I want to build an app with AI, the prompt I'm going to write will probably start from here, then it's going to end like in 2 pages or something like that. How do I know to start writing prompt like that? Because I have an idea of what I want. How do you have an idea of what you want? It is by understanding what you are building. It is by understanding that, oh, there is one aspect of Python that does this. Oh, there's an aspect of data analysis that does this. Oh, there's an aspect of Django that does this. So that is what is going to help you with the prompting, right? So whenever I tell you that the hardest part is what you are doing right now, I actually know what I'm saying now, because building something before used to be hard, but right now it's as easy as what I just done, right? But if you don't understand what you are doing, you won't even know how to ask the right questions. So I don't want us to go this route of, just you are moving from vanilla Python, you want to start using AI to build. We call those people vibe coders. Yeah, vibe coding is good, but I would not want that for us right now. I want us to be different from those vibe coders out there. I want us to understand what you even want to build before you even build, which is why I said decide on a path. Then, if you need the materials and the structure going forward, let me know. We are going to arrange for how you are going to get the materials, then you get started on it. Then, within a month or two, then you are good to start building projects, right? So, that is what I'll be expecting from us going forward. Then yeah, remember I said no need posting it in the group, because at the end of the day, the boot camp is not for Django, for data analysis and all those stuff, right? So it's going to make the entire group messy. Anywhere you want, if you want a general Python, what's it called? Your stock somewhere in Python, please always post it in the group. Don't post it in my DM, please.
So it's
Post it.
5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I could just rush through. Yeah, I think I'm going to rush through it. So if you want, you are building something, you are stuck somewhere, please post the errors in the group. But if you now deviate to Django, you deviate to data analysis, then while you're building stuff, then you're stuck, then you can reach out to me in the DM, right? Then maybe tomorrow or maybe on Monday or Tuesday, you've decided on a path. Oh, Mr. Shegu, I'll prefer Django. You can just reach out to me in the DM. Then I think I'm going to be. Don't come to Jabi, oh please. But I'm going to be in Jabi next week. But I'm not going to be available for you guys. But if maybe on Tuesday by 3 p.m. you are available, you can just let me know. Then I'll schedule the period I can attend to you. Then once you come around, I can send the materials to you. Then tell you how you are going to go about it. Then we'll take it from there. But just know that it is important you decide on a path. Very, very important. Yeah. So lastly, whenever you're building something and there's some sort of an error, For instance, if I want to make an intentional error here, then I run the code. You can see for some it's easier to just say, oh, line 28, there's an error here. You can actually use AI to debug. How you do that is I could just copy this entire thing, then I'll take it to ChatGPT or whichever AI tool you are using. I say I have an error, then you paste, then you enter. This is how you can actually use ChatGPT to debug. You see, the error tells us Python found invalid and stuff. It's going to point you to where the error is. So for most of the errors you get, you can actually get a fix even from your machine. It's just to copy, then go to your AI tool, then you fix. Trust me, before, fixing errors is something that could take you a day, 2 days, 3 days on Stack Overflow or on Google. But these days, it is easier using AI to debug, just using this simple method I told us, right? So the usual, on Monday there's going to be a task for the week. Then don't let that stop you. While you're deciding on that and you've, okay, I want to do Django, please just reach out to me in DM, then let me know. Then if you are in Abuja, I could tell you when to come around and how to get the material of whichever part you've decided on. So yeah, we have 3 more minutes. Any question before we end this session? Any question? So no question, but whatever question we have, we are still in the group, we are still together. You can always post your question in the group. All right, so you give me a few minutes, not minute though, just give me like an hour or two, depending on how fast YouTube verification is. They'll go through the videos. Then once the link has been generated, I'm going to post the link in the group. But I shall know it's going to be before 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. I'm going to be posting the link so you can watch the videos and practice with it. All right. So thank you guys for joining into this session. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a lovely weekend. All right. Thank you.